What to do, everybody? It's your boy Joshie. Thanks for hanging out with me. Make sure to do me a quick favor and like this video and subscribe to our channel as we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube. Here to check out the latest news, and I use these words very loosely here, news video from WrestleMania as I try to sift through the BS that WrestleMania just loves to get from Dave Meltzer every single week. So why not have some comedy with it? I'm gonna react to this, and the title of this video here, they say LA Knight backstage heat, Bray Wyatt return link, and some extra stuff here. But like I said, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel. If there's any other wrestling content or other content that you'd like me to react to, please let me know in the comment section down below or hit me up at Twitter at the Hoots Pocket. So let's check this out. WrestleMania. the hub for dirt, the Wrestling Observer newsletter video version. So here we go. Here is WrestleMania's backstage news. Let's get into this. I'm sure this should be controversial.
What is going on, guys? It is WrestleMania here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Bray Wyatt return leaked. Has LA Knight got backstage heat? Is this the reason why he's been losing? Shotzi debuts a new look. AEW veteran retires. A top WWE star no longer taking time off. Have WWE given up on Karrion Kross? And much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new channel, WrestleMania Shorts. Now let's hit the intro and get straight into our first story.
Alright, let's do it.
Our first story looks at Bray Wyatt's return leaked. Our top story today takes a look at some exciting news relating to the return of Bray Wyatt. Wyatt hasn't appeared on TV since he began his feud with Bobby Lashley, and the two were initially scheduled to collide at WrestleMania 39. However, due to an undisclosed illness, Wyatt was unable to compete. Now at long last, it seems like Wyatt is now ready to return, and the Better Wrestling Experience on Twitter seems to suggest that there are plans for the former WWE Champion to return at SummerSlam in 2 weeks. Bray has been around a few times. His plans are there for his return. A feud suggested and approved by everyone. It's only a call of when. The discussion is for SummerSlam, so I'd keep an eye on one of the main events of that night. Now, the main events in question appeared to be Cody Rhodes vs Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins vs Finn Balor, and Roman Reigns vs Jey Uso. Fans on social media are now speculating in relation to what match Wyatt could get involved in. Fans seem against the idea of reigniting the feud between Wyatt and Rollins, and for very good reasons, as their 2019 feud did nobody any favours. Fans currently seem split on the idea of a Wyatt vs Rhodes feud, as it would be a completely new feud for both men, but fans are justified in their worry that the feud could annihilate Rhodes' positive momentum. In relation to Wyatt's potential involvement in the Reigns vs Jey Uso match, it looks possible. After all, Reigns did take the Universal title from Wyatt back in 2020, so that may be an option that WWE heads towards. Who would you guys like to see Wyatt feud with when he returns? Let us know in the comments down below. Next.
Let me tackle that really quick before we continue on here. I don't know what's going on with Bray Wyatt. I guess he had an injury that was going on. That's why he missed WrestleMania. He's been out for a very long time. It's like the guy just disappeared after the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match. And I'm a fan of Bray Wyatt. I wouldn't say that his return wasn't working. I just don't know what the problem is. Why is he not on TV? Why did we go with the direction with him and Lashley? I understood that Brock Lesnar did not want to work with Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. That's Brock's deal. But when it comes to this situation with Bray, like, it's not like there's nobody on the roster that he can't work with. I think Rollins is in a different predicament now than he was back in 2019 when they had their feud. I'm kind of intrigued to see how it would be with him and Cody Rhodes. There wasn't really a distinction on where Bray Wyatt was going to be when it comes to the draft, so that's up in the air. There is the historical context, I guess, if you want to play into this scenario here with Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt, deeming to the fact that Roman did take the title off of the Fiend Bray Wyatt at Payback in 2020, and that's the next pay-per-view for, my bad, premium live event for WWE. But Roman Reigns is not advertised for that show. there are people on the roster that he can have feuds with. Um, I don't subscribe to the belief that, oh, if you get into a program with Bray Wyatt, oh, that diminishes your ability to be a baby face or whatever. The guy is good at what he does on TV, and it should be the onus should be on the performers that he's competing with to step up their game. So, um, I'm curious as well. Let me know, who would you like to see Bray Wyatt feud with if and when he comes back to WWE. But let's continue on here.
Next up, does LA Knight have backstage heat? Is this the reason why he could be losing? Now, it
Oh
seemed like a
God, here we
certainty that
go.
LA Knight would win the Fatal 4-Way on SmackDown this week. It was only logical that LA would take on Austin Theory for the US title at SummerSlam, but unfortunately it looks like WWE are going in a completely different direction. There is now major concern amongst fans that LA Knight is going to be left off the SummerSlam card. It's been reported multiple times over the past few months that LA's push is on the horizon. He was left off WrestleMania, then he lost at Money in the Bank, and now it looks like LA could be missing SummerSlam. Wade Keller has offered some insight into LA's standing within WWE, and he stated that Vince McMahon is a fan of LA Knight, but LA Knight has a reputation for rubbing people the wrong way. PW Torch sources indicate Vince McMahon has grown to be a fan of his, and Paul Levesque already was. Knight has a long-running reputation for rubbing people the wrong way behind the scenes and just being bad at backstage politics. Those who know him well tend to like him, and some have spoken up on behalf when Knight gives a bad first impression. Knight's surging crowd reactions and social media popularity have landed him on the radar of Levesque and McMahon as being a candidate for a big push after SummerSlam, PW Torch sources indicate. So it appears that a push is on the horizon after SummerSlam. Nevertheless, the question is what this push is going to involve. It looks unlikely that LA Knight will feud with Roman Reigns, and it appears that WWE have alternative plans for Theory and the US title. So where exactly does he fit in the post-SummerSlam creative direction? Next up, a top WWE star no longer taking time off. It's been rumored for months that Becky Lynch will be taking time off.
Let me pause that really quick because I just need to do this really quick. All right. In regards to LA Knight, I've said this a lot of the show. For those who watch the podcast every week, I'm a fan of the guy. Now, I'm not a fan to the extent where I get on my knees and verbally blow this guy. I think a lot of the people in the internet wrestling community, especially wrestling Twitter, kind of act like the guy is Teflon and he can't ever lose a match. And he needs to be the guy to take the title off the Roman, and he needs all these titles. Give him the U.S. title, give him the IC title, bring back the European Championship, the Hardcore title. LA Knight just needs a title, right? And when I hear that stuff, it's like, the guy's getting a TV time. He did not take the pin on SmackDown this past Friday. Okay, he's not currently doing something at SummerSlam. Is the guy getting released next week? Like, I don't know. Just like the 0 to 100 ding aspect when it's coming to this whole LA Knight situation with wrestling fans is just, I don't know. It's kind of odd. I get it. The guy's getting crowd pops and stuff like that, but I don't know. It's hard for me to convey this thing because I know I'm in the minority and I wasn't really all for the whole yes movement when it was going on. So I'm the wrong person to talk about this because I don't subscribe to the theory that you should give people pushes just because wrestling Twitter goes and has a hissy fit about it over certain wrestlers. Um, that's kind of the main reason why I was like, no, LA Knight did not need to win the Money to Bank contract because he was realistically seeing how things were going. No, he would not have a successful cash in regardless of which champion he was going to cash the briefcase on. I'm not saying the guy can't be a main eventer. I'm not saying that LA Knight cannot be a world champion. I'm a fan of the guy, but I feel like a lot of people, especially on Twitter, and especially that twat JD from New York, this, man, LA Knight loses the match. Oh, LA Knight's on this. It has to be Vince. It has to be Vince. I don't know what Backstage feels about LA Knight, nor do I care. So whether or not Vince McMahon's a fan of him, or he's gonna get a push, or he's not gonna get a push, or he rubs people the wrong way, I really don't give two shits. Can we just watch the show and let's see how the story actually plays out before writing the death note of his WWE career? That's just my opinion, but let's continue on here.
following SummerSlam. SummerSlam is believed to mark the end of the Lynch vs. Trish Stratus saga, and fans were led to believe that this would mark Lynch's last appearance for some time. However, according to Fightful Select, this doesn't appear to be the case, and it's been reported that Lynch will be sticking around following the biggest event of the summer. It's unknown what WWE's creative plans involve, but Lynch sticking around is great news. She's arguably the biggest name in the women's division, and any storyline she's attached to instantly gets elevated. Who would you guys like to see Lynch feud with after SummerSlam? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Shotzi debuts new look. The SmackDown star Shotzi has hit the headlines last week after she shaved her head on WWE TV. It later surfaced that she did this to support her sister who has been battling cancer. She made her first appearance since shaving her head at a WWE live event yesterday, and the new look looks great. Next up, an AEW star retires? It looks like a pro wrestling veteran has retired. Last night on AEW Collision, Billy Gunn removed his boots, then left them in the middle of the ring after a trios match where he teamed with the Acclaim to take on the House of Black. Gunn appeared emotional as he unlaced his boots, and the crowd offered supportive chants of "You still got it" towards the tenured AEW star. There have been no reports of Gunn planning to retire, so this came completely out of the blue. It's not been made clear if this is a storyline, but if it's not, Gunn has had one incredibly successful career. He's had runs in WWE, TNA, and now AEW, and he's still at the top of his game at almost 60 years of age. Next up, have WWE given up on Karrion Kross? Since returning to WWE programming last year, Karrion Kross's second run has been met with mixed reviews. Kross has secured huge wins over the likes of Drew McIntyre and AJ Styles, but the issue is that Kross has failed to connect with the audience. According to former manager Dutch Mantel, aka Zeb Coulter on Smack Talk, WWE have given up attempting to push Kross as a serious main event level talent. They don't expect anything big out of Karrion Kross and AJ because they tried Karrion Kross. And I don't know what it is. Let's compare LA Knight with Karrion Kross. One guy has it and Karrion Kross doesn't. I don't care what they do with him, I don't care. LA Knight's a hell of a promo, but Kross, he's got TikTok, but that's BS. If I had to rely on TikTok as a gimmick, save your money, Mr. Kross. What do you think of Dutch Mantel's comments? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Roman Reigns makes a rare live event appearance. Fans in attendance at a WWE live event in New Mexico yesterday were in for a treat as undisputed champion Roman Reigns competed on the show. In the main event of the show, Reigns successfully defended his undisputed title against Rey Mysterio. Reigns working live events is a rarity, and the fans in attendance got a stacked show which also featured Seth Rollins defending his world title against Dominic Mysterio. Next up, a WWE Hall of Famer rules out one more match. Shawn Michaels' decision to come out of retirement in 2018 was controversial. He had the perfect retirement back in 2010, and the common consensus was that HBK made the wrong decision by putting on his boots back on for one more match. In the years following his infamous 2018 matchup, HBK has distanced himself out of the match altogether, and he's even outright stated that he regrets coming out of retirement for the matchup. He was interviewed by a Sportskeeda, and during the interview, he confirmed that he's 100% retired and he has no interest in ever wrestling again. No, I absolutely do not think about that at all anymore. I'm so enamored and enjoy helping these young men and women come through NXT. I had my time in the sun and I enjoy every bit of it, but I so thoroughly enjoy being a help to them and allow them to have the same opportunities that I had. Finally,
Alright. Let me pause there so I can react to a couple things there. As far as Becky Lynch is concerned, I'm fine with her. She still wants to stick around with TV. Where things go from her? Do another month of her with Zoe Stark? Is there a female in the roster that Becky is yet to have a feud with? Does she get to that situation? There's things to do with Becky after SummerSlam. I wonder how long they want to hold off her against Rhea Ripley. I think that's a match maybe you want to do in WrestleMania next year, so that's cool. As far as Dutch Mantel's comments on Killer Cross, Dutch Mantel could go the fuck home and stay the fuck home as far as I'm concerned. I'm not really a fan of Dutch Mantel, so I really take a lot of what he says with a grain of salt. What was the other one that they brought up here? Oh, Shotzi. I do dig the new look. I think it was really cool and a really cool premise for her to do it to support her sister. So I think that's awesome. And then I did the live stream for Collision the other day, and I was kind of surprised to see how things were going because it looked like he was saying goodbye. I don't know if that's an angle or something to turn on the acclaim. That's something that we have to watch out on TV to see where that goes next. But uh, if it is, I want to say congratulations to Billy on a tremendous career, and he's still really good in this run that he had with AEW. You know, I can get criticals at times with AEW, but Billy Gunn has done a lot of good stuff in AEW from an on-screen point of view, and he's had a definitely a legendary career, and he's a Hall of Famer for a reason. So, if that was it, just want to give a salute to Billy Gunn for a hell of an in-ring career. The guy's a beast. But let's wrap this up with the final topic here. Let's see what they have to say here.
Finally, a WWE legend believes Roman Reigns will leave for Hollywood. Our final story today takes a look at some interesting comments from Hall of Famer Kurt Angle. On the latest edition of his podcast, Angle discussed the possibility of reigning undisputed champion Roman Reigns breaking John Cena's world title record, and this is when Angle revealed that he believes that Reigns is Hollywood bound. He's gonna break the record if he doesn't skip and go to Hollywood and become a movie star, which I think he's gonna do. Reigns has taken on a part-time schedule since April of last year, and it's unclear what exactly Reigns' plans are for the future. In 2020, he stated that he's going to swim in Hollywood, and this was before the acclaimed Bloodline storyline truly took off, so it's only logical that interest from movie studios in having Reigns attached to projects has significantly increased. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to.
All right, I'll do it there. WrestleMania video right there. Some news. What's going on there? I am curious to see what you guys' responses are going to be to this video because I know that I don't subscribe to the theory that LA Knight needs a prop to be considered over, nor do I think that they're purposely holding him back just to not to spite the fans. But I am curious to see what you guys' thoughts on the whole LA Knight situation. What do you think he does at SummerSlam, if he does anything at all? Is this a scenario where Austin Theory attacks Rey Mysterio backstage for SmackDown next week, and that's where LA Knight can replace him? I don't know. What do you think about that whole LA Knight situation? And also, going back to what I said earlier, what would you like to see Bray Wyatt do upon his return to WWE? And also, what's your thoughts on Killer Cross, and what can he do to start regaining some momentum on SmackDown? So let me know in the comment section down below. I'll make sure to respond to you. And thank you guys so much for checking out the video. Don't forget, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and put on post notifications so you don't miss a new episode or podcast here for the Hoots Podcast. I'm Joshie. I will talk to y'all later. Yes, sir.